What's up, KGS Head Master here, and welcome back to another Friday Assembly. Great to have you with us, great to see you. Let's kick off with a few birthdays. Not quite such a long list. I suspect a few of the ones I read out last week were actually this week. So let's start with where we were or should have been on Monday. So I'm going to have to make this slightly bigger, sorry, but because there still is a list. So we've got Olivia hit the big 1-8 on Monday, so many happy returns to Olivia. Tom also hit the big 1-8. I know I congratulated Tom before, so Tom is this week, not last week. Sorry. But many happy returns. Audrey 13, Sophie 13, Tom 17, Ben hitting the big 1-6. And of course, if Ben hits the big 1-6, Ollie hits the big 1-6 as well. So many happy returns to you both. Hope you both have a great day and you both receive equal amounts of presents and kind of lavish activities. So Sophia hits the big 1-8. Lots of 1-8s and 1-6s. Lots of people kind of turning those magic ages. Georgie, wow, 14 already. Yayan, 13. Ben, 12. And then we're getting towards the weekend. Mikey, 15. Many happy returns to Mikey. Give my best to Johnny. Angelina, 14. Priyam, 14. And then obviously last one at the weekend, we've got Dan hitting the big 1-6. Many happy returns to you all. Hope you have a great day on your birthday. With family, being able to touch base with your friends, and of course I hope it brings everything to your heart's desire, especially in this period of lockdown. Now, apart from the birthdays, we've got lots of shout outs and congratulations. Staff have been working furiously to get all the information to me because you've been working furiously putting all that stuff together, and just want to pick out a few honourable mentions if we may. So on the House Entrepreneur Competition, which has been going great guns, we're through to round 2. And so the round 2 is market research. So many congratulations, some fantastic market research on their products to Jamie in the first year, Joe in the first year, Alexandra in the first year. Also, I think these are nearly all in the first year. Ella and Ada, Edward in the third year, Dexter in the third year, Jasmine in the 5th year. But Ella and Ada, who are working as a team, get a special mention for their, can I give away the product? It's a hoodie, and it has special places in it for your face mask and your AirPods. So brilliant design concept, great market research, superb. But all going great guns. Well done to all of you. Lovely to see people from 1st to 5th year getting involved. And of course, it doesn't include the 6th form because they have the Young Enterprise scheme, which a lot of them are involved in. House Photography Competition, loads of congratulations there too. Thank you to all the entries, the ones that have been highlighted this week from Zane. These are all going to appear in the bulletin, by the way. So look out in the bulletin for these. I know Mr. Beard's got them and the art department's got them, and it's obviously towards house points. So you won't see them on this morning's assembly. Zane in the lower 6, Edward in the first year, Hugo in the first year, Jasmine in the 4th year, and Charlotte in the 3rd year. More of Charlotte later on. Also, huge congratulations to Sam in the 4th year. Made it through to the 2nd round of the national, the British Mathematical Olympiad. That's the top 100 students in the country. So well done, Sam. I hope it went well this week. And obviously we look forward to your success. But brilliant performance. Really, really proud of you and well done. I also want to say a big congratulations to Izzy Rosa, who's been nominated, or is being nominated, I should say, by our CCF contingent for the Lord Lieutenant's Award. So that nomination is winging its way to the London offices, and let's hope it's successful. But many congratulations, and thank you indeed for all your hard work in leadership that has led to that nomination being made. I want to thank all the people getting involved in some of the rowing activities. There's been half marathons being run by Matthew Mace, Alex Pelling, and also the people making great efforts, Astrid, Lucas, Charlotte again, wow. There's loads of different Charlottes, but I think this is the same one. And kind of all that effort towards, the treasure hunt, the rowing treasure hunt. What else we got? Now, this week's theme, as you know, has been Mental Health Awareness and Wellbeing Week. In fact, there is a month celebration. It's our focused week because it is a Mental Health Awareness Day at the middle of the week. We had a day away from screens, which I think was brilliant. I certainly enjoyed it. I don't know if you saw my post on Twitter, but I went for a walk. I read some books. I did a bit of Lego. All kind of relaxing things. Just avoided the phone, the laptop. I spoke to a few people, which was nice, including the family, which was great to catch up. I hope you did too. I hope you got to speak to people, got to do things you wouldn't normally find time to because we could avoid lessons and we could avoid screen time. So I hope it was really beneficial to all of you. And we asked all of you to focus on 3 specific things. Acts of kindness, which some people interpret as random acts of kindness. Well, you can make it random if you want, but it can also be quite deliberate, and it doesn't have to be quite so random. But we get what you mean. Being active for 5 days in a row to look after your mental health and well-being, a way of kind of being physically active and healthy to help your mental activity and health, and support for Inside Out Day, the kind of key day at the middle of the week. When people can turn their clothes inside out to show that what we might feel on the inside, isn't always what we might show on the outside. So turning your clothes inside out to represent how you might present yourself. So I want to particularly thank Charlotte, who cut off, I think it was 11, 12 inches of hair to donate to Little Princess's Trust. And that was an act of kindness. They could make wigs for younger children who have lost their hair for medical reasons. So an amazing kind of personal donation. What a great act of selflessness. That kind of act of kindness, and not at all random, Charlotte. I want to thank Kitty, who knitted gifts as presents for the Big Knit for Age UK, which is amazing. We've got some images, I think, of Charlotte's hair and of Kitty's knits, which was absolutely brilliant. We've got Daniela, who went litter picking in her local area, and again, this wasn't litter picking because she wanted to collect litter. She was helping her community by picking up litter that had strayed in, blown in, been dropped, shouldn't have been. So she was doing the right thing with it, and that's a great help to her community. So a great act of kindness that hopefully made her feel good, and I know would have been appreciated by other people, as all those other acts as well. Max did loads of different things. We saw him at one point pouring his mum wine. I'm not going to put that on there, but he made tea for the family. You might see the image of him making a cup of tea, and gave his sister some chocolate to cheer her up. Just those little things sometimes just make all the difference. And Chingiz, who we're talking about kind of physical health, went out for lots of walks. Got a picture here of Chingiz out on one of his walks. I think it's something I enjoy doing in terms of mental health, reflection, well-being. Just getting out there, away from the phones and the screens, etc., just that little bit of time to yourself. So well done to all of you. And of course, Inside Out, loads of you participated in that. We've got a few images from Romeo, from Ryder, from Charlotte, from Judah, from Ollie. So thank you all for participating in that. But lots of you did. So hopefully you'll see a few images, and feel free to keep sending yours in. It'd be really great to see you, to see just how inside out you could get. Sometimes with clothes these days, I don't know which way is the right way around, he says, sounding very old. Of course I do, sorry. That's very deliberate. And of course, I want a big thank you to Sophie. Sophie, who went down to her local old people's home and socially distanced, as you can see, standing outside, played her oboe to give them some nice, relaxing, calming music. What a great little performance that was for the people who would have really appreciated it. So again, a great act of kindness. Now, I'm going to suggest a really important book for you this week in terms of reading from Dr. Rangan Chatterjee, The 4-Pillar Plan in terms of mental health and well-being. Eat, sleep, relax, move. It's really simple, and it's a great book, and I think it's one, I know Mrs. Humphrey's a big fan, I know a lot of the staff and probably a lot of your parents will be too. If you've not come across it, do have a dip into it, or at least go onto the website and have a read about it. I think there's some great ideas there without having to buy or necessarily read the book. Because when we think of mental health, awareness and well-being, we often think of things that, people in distress or problems that we can't quite associate with. So let's think of it like this. We've all experienced a cold at some time. We all know how to try and prevent ourselves from getting a cold. Staying warm, good exercise, vitamin C, doing the right thing, plenty of sleep. But when you get it, if you get it, and inevitably you will, you'll feel a little bit under the weather sometimes. It might not be a cold, you might be feeling a little bit under the weather. You also know how to put it right. Plenty of fluids, plenty of warmth, get the right amount of sleep, get the vitamin. So it's almost the same thing, but just you're having to catch up because your body's saying, actually, you're not quite well here, so let's do the right thing. Now, we also know there can be more serious things. You think it's a cold, but it develops into flu, and as you get older, it can develop into things like pneumonia and shingles, and you need medical support for that. Things develop and they get worse. Or sometimes there are medical things that don't start and grow. They just come in, they come at you from left field, and you're not well, and you need help. You might need antibiotics, you might need a course of treatment. And also there are some things where there are accidents. You might fall out of a tree and break your leg. You might kind of break your arm playing hockey, or get a hockey ball in the face or something. We've all had accidents, times where things happen that shock you, but you need a bit of help, you need a bit of treatment. And there are sometimes long-term things, long-term illnesses, which are very difficult to deal with for everybody concerned. But with the right treatment and the right help, it can either be cured or at least managed well. Now, those are health things that we all understand because we can see them. And the point about mental health is it's not that much different. You just can't see it. So at the bigger end of the scale, there are lots of people in the world who need the right intervention and support. And some will get better, and some just have to manage and let themselves be managed and helped. Their mental health actually needs managing with expert help and support and advice. And sometimes, obviously, the right treatments can make an enormous difference in someone's life. But if we come right the way back to the common cold, everyone's mental health suffers at times. Everyone has a bad day. Everyone has moments when they're super stressed or a little bit depressed. But we can try and prevent that by doing all the right things. And it's not fluids and warmth and vitamin C. It's exercise. It's rest. It's motivation. It's stepping away from screens. But if we don't prevent it and it does go wrong, there are ways we can fix that. And whilst there's lots of people in the world that need lots of appropriately professional support, for the vast majority of us, fortunately, we can help ourselves because we know what the right things to do are. And if we forget, we can speak to people who will remind us what those things are, and we can put it right. And so I reflect back on school motto: work well, be happy. Sometimes working well can be working really hard, and you can get really caught up in that and anxious, and it can all be a bit stressy, and you worry about it. But being happy isn't about walking around the whole time with a big smile on your face. It's about being fulfilled. It's about being happy with what you've done and been able to do, with how you can help yourself and how you can help others. It's an inner sense of happiness and well-being. So it's not just being happy, it's actually feeling well and feeling secure and feeling safe and feeling fulfilled. And if you flip it, feeling that way can give you the ability to do your best, to work well. So look after yourselves first and foremost, to give yourself the very best opportunity to be the best person you can be. And then in turn, you're really able to help others. And this week's quotation that I've got comes from a highly revered man, the Dalai Lama, who says this. It's quite a long quote, so forgive me if I read it, but I think it's an incredibly powerful one. He says that I have found the greatest degree of inner tranquility comes from the development of love and compassion. That the more we care for the happiness of others, the greater is our own sense of well-being. Cultivating a close, warm-hearted feeling for others automatically puts the mind at ease and is the ultimate source of success in life. Now, hopefully you'll take the opportunity to read that a couple of times to yourself, maybe look it up and find out a little bit more about characters like Dalai Lama. And of course, I could have chosen a lot of different people in terms of quotes, but that one spoke to me of the interrelationship between people and well-being. So it's not just all about self, it's about self and others and self, and the way we all interconnect as a community and how our well-being can often be served by helping others. And something that you all did this week, in whether it's a cup of tea and a bit of chocolate, or picking up litter, or donating hair, or taking great pieces of photography, or showing your support with the Inside Out, you did things to help others, and I really hope that helped you too. Until next week rather, thank you for listening to this week's assembly. Thank you for your support of this week's theme on mental health awareness and well-being. We really look forward to next week, which is silver linings, hope for the future, as we go into the last week before half term. And so until then, it is Headmaster out.